Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Follow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Prem se vale. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Where's my bag? My glasses in there. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto, I can't see in glasses. 8, chapter 12, text. What's the text? Huh? I'm blind. I can only see the holy name. Others not coming out. 34, text 34 of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, today's verse. I had to wait for their glasses to come. They can read. Sarit Sarakhu Saikeshu Sarit Sar, they can't see them. Sarsu Shaileshu. I'm singing without glass and you can't even. Vaneshu Pavaneshu Cha. Thank you. Thanks.
Glasses in here, yeah?
Yeah. Hopefully, in spiritual world, I don't need glasses. Sorry. Oh. Worse. Where you go? Sarit Sarasu Shaileshu Vaneshu Pavaneshu Cha Yatra Kwa Shashana Rishayas Tatra Sannihito Harihi Anasara Tatra Sannihito Haraha. Others. Ladies, please. Too heavy the verse? You don't want to sing it? Saret, near the shores of the rivers. Sarashu, and near the lake. Shaileshu, near the mountains. Vaneshu, in the forest. Upavaneshu, in the gardens or a small forest. Cha, also. Yatra, wherever. Kwa, anywhere. Cha, also. Ashan, who are existing. Rishaya, great sages. Tatra, there. Sannihito, was present. Haraha, Lord Shiva. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, Prabhupada ki jai. Following Mohini, Lord Shiva went everywhere, near the shores of the rivers and lakes, near the mountains, near the forest, near the gardens, and wherever there lived great sages. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur remarks that Mohini Murti dragged Lord Shiva to so many places, especially to where the great sages lived, to instruct the sages that there Lord Shiva had become mad for her beautiful women. Thus, this instruction for all us, not just men, women too. Thus, although they were all great sages and saintly persons, they should not think themselves free, but should remain extremely cautious about beautiful women. No one should think himself liberated in the presence of a beautiful woman. The Shastra says, Matra Shastra Duhitraj Va Naivi Tva Kshano Bhavet Balavan Indriya Grano Vidvamsvam Api Karshati. One should not stay in a solitary place with a woman, even if she is mother, sister, or a daughter, for the senses are so uncontrollably powerful that in the presence of a woman one may become agitated, even if he is very learned and advanced. That's from the Bhagavatam 9, 19, 17. This is one of those verses. We should be, the idea is to be Krishna conscious, right? Whatever we are, women, man, doesn't matter. The idea is to be Krishna conscious. So we do everything to advance spiritual life, to avoid things that can divert us away from Krishna. That's the idea. It's not that one is bad or good. We have to simply see what is required for us to advance spiritual life and avoid those things that's going to obstruct us from progressing in Krishna consciousness. Whatever pleases Krishna, whatever pleases Guru, whatever pleases the Vaishnavas, that is the motive of any sincere devotee. And we can find any excuse, we can find so many things if we want to be something else other than Krishna conscious. There's hundreds of ways we can divert ourselves if we don't want to become Krishna conscious. That's what material world is all about. Why do we have this Hare Krishna temple? Why do we have ISKCON temples and many temples in the world, churches? Why? Because these places tells us that come to God, come to Dharma, come to spiritual life. Look at Krishna, look at the divine, study transcendental knowledge. Because material enjoyment in the material world is so strong, it's mentioned here, even the mind of a great sage is pure, they're gone quickly. So therefore, we have to be strong in Krishna consciousness. Keep yourself busy in serving Krishna. Keep your mind occupied by chanting Hare Krishna. Prabhupada said, whenever you have a time, chant Hare Krishna. Why did he say that? Because idle's mind is devil's workshop. The mind will find an excuse to do things that are pleasing to the senses. Every moment of our life is a test for us, for a sincere devotee. If we want to not serve Krishna, if we want to do things what pleases us, fine, you can do that. But that is not the purpose. The purpose, the Bhagavatam explains, is to please Krishna, is to go to Krishna. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Bhagavat pranitam. Krishna says, Bhagavat, dharmam, to practice dharma, religious principles. We are bound by the process of religious principles. We want to be bound by dharma because we want to be in the circle of the devotees, sadhusanga. We want to be in the association of devotees who can help us to become Krishna conscious. And we want to avoid those things that obstruct us from Krishna consciousness. That's the whole idea of being a devotee. I didn't wake up this late. I don't know what happened. So, mind is so strong. Krishna said, mind is like the wind. It blows everywhere like the wind. If anyone in the world can control the wind? Impossible, practically. You can put a building, we see tornadoes, basically consisting of air. Blows everything away on its way. Doesn't matter how strong you are. But it cannot blow away your intelligence, your consciousness. It's because consciousness is connected to the soul, the super soul. The super soul is subtle. And Prabhupada said, and the soul is subtler than the subtle. So we have to be so strong, not physical strength, but spiritual strength. That strength comes from Hare Krishna, by chanting Hare Krishna, by associating with devotees, by listening to Krishna Katha. That strength is spiritual strength, can upheld and control our senses. We are powerless in front of Maya. We are powerless. You know, in Satya Yuga, people can meditate for thousands of years because they live for 100,000 years. And there's a sage who was meditating under the sea. 10,000 years. Meditating under the sea. No distraction. So powerful. And he saw the two fish were mating. And that was it. He came up, fell down. That's this. So don't think we are chanting Hare Krishna, we are free from Maya. We are going to be more attacked to see our strength, how much we really love Krishna. We are going to be tested. It's not a joke. You want to go back to Godhead? Things will wiggle in your face. You have to be able to be upheld Krishna consciousness. It is easy in the temple of Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, but when the test comes, we are victimized by it. That's why the Shastra said, Grab hold the lotus feet of Krishna, the holy name, the sadhu sangha, the scriptures, the guru, spiritual master, because they have the power to protect us. Ekaki amai nahi pai bal harinam sankirtan. Bhaktivedanta Thakur said, on my own, I don't have the power. Ekaki amai nahi pai bal. I don't have the strength to stand Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. But I can do it in the Sangha, association of the devotees. Because each other, we can encourage each other. There was this Mataji wanted to get across the river. And she didn't know how to get across the river. So there was two Buddhist monks. And Buddhist monk, like a celibate, they don't look at women, they don't talk to the Maharajis, like this. So they said, no, I'm not going to carry her across because, I'm brahmachari. So then, but she was going to get drowned. Better to save her. So one of the brahmacharis said, I'm not touching her. So other brahmachari grabbed her and picked up her and took her across the river and then put her down so she can go. And then that's it. And hours later, the other brahmachari, the monk said, how was it, how do you feel like carrying her across? He said, I did what I had to do. I took her across so she can be safe from drowning, and I put her down. Finish. And you are still carrying her in your mind. You understand? So it's all about how you deal with yourself, with your senses, with your mind. Krishna said, mind is the sitting place of the senses, of all the senses. And he says, if you can control your mind, you have reached the super soul. Like if you're at top of a tree, you can look down, everything. Way, down there, way, because you're at the top of a tree. Okay, so hey, look at you. So we have to reach the top of the tree. That tree, it requires climbing. Branch to branch, climbing through ladder. Process of bhakti, different ladders. That person on the top, he has control over his senses, master his senses. But still he's thinking, I'm on the top of the tree, but he can easily slip from there. Before you know it, he's down there. So we have to be careful. Oh, I am this, I am that. But we're victimized by our senses. Sense is so strong. In the temple we can make a show. I am so great devotee, many years. I can do nice kirtan, everybody look at me. Ego, like very big ego. That's the downfall. That's how Maya comes. Think of this. Instead of attracting Krishna, you're attracting yourself, attracting others. Your motivation is that you should do things that is going to please Krishna. There was this one sannyasi during the proper time. He was singing Guru Puja, and his voice was really out of it, like not very nice. When you sing for Guru, when you sing for Krishna, he should be a nice singer. Good kirtan leader can be melodious, but so they said you shouldn't sing. You look at your voice is so terrible. It's not sweet for Prabhupada to hear your voice. Prabhupada said, leave him alone. Because his voice may be not palatable, but he is devotional. So Krishna says, Bhaktamam vijanati, you can attract me through devotion. When Gandhari heard her husband going to be a blind man, you know that? Gandhari. So, if you know that your husband is going to be a blind, a deformed person, you will immediately find someone else, perhaps. Nowadays it's really easy. You look up in the website, whatever. So she voluntarily covered her eyes with cloth. Because she said, if her husband is going to be blind, why should she have privilege to see? Whole life, she covered her eyes. That's called chastity. You heard this word chastity? Because nobody want to talk about it. Oh, no, put that away. We don't hear that. We live in Kali Yuga, we want to be like part of Kali Yuga, we like it. So, even Srila Prabhupada, he said his father wanted him to marry this particular girl. Prabhupada said, I don't want to marry her, I want this girl. She's more beautiful. Prabhupada said, no, you marry her, because otherwise you'll become too attached. And that's going to be attracting, abstractive from Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada's father was pure devotee. These things are very instructive. Even Lord Shiva was running after Mohini Murthy. A great person. Sometimes think, oh, I want to go to heavenly planet. They're also running after enjoyment like we are. It's not that special there. You know, heavenly planet, they have a drink called Somaras. You heard that before? Somaras. It's like what you drink here, beer, alcohol, but it's really refined. When they drink that, he feels really good, but you don't get a headache afterward. But in the heavenly planets, there is no warning when you're going to die. We have warning. When the old age comes, there's a warning. When you're young, from childhood to 30, maybe 40, you go, you look handsome, beautiful, and you go around, you think, oh, look at me. Before you know it, you're going to turn 50, 60. It's all going to fade away. Yeehaw. But they say the older you get, you become more wise spiritually. What is attractive? Attractive is your knowledge, teachings of Bhagavad Gita. The attractive is holy name. Just now I did kirtan. It's so ecstatic. I love it. If there was no class, I would continue. There's so much bliss is in the spiritual life. Material enjoyment is nothing. Nothing. How much can you enjoy? Okay, you drink alcohol, but you're going to suffer later. Headache, illicit activities, sexual activities. It drains your energy. Birja. We said birja means strength. That's all in our body. We're born with it. So lose your energy through illicit activities. It's very, very serious things. Men, women, same. You know, like women, when they're pregnant, after your conception, after your child's born, first one, second one, your beauty, gone. It goes fast. There are people who are not having children, they live like all life, they're like strong, because they're upheld. So when you carry a child within for 9 months, and then you have a second one, sometimes people have so many, I don't know how they do it. Like, I have something in my stomach, I feel sick. Like, I eat too much, I go, oh God, I wish I didn't eat it. And you carry a baby in your stomach for 9 months, you know, like a big brick sitting in there. But that's the austerity, the mother's love for a child. But so much austerity for some enjoyment. What is the enjoyment actually? You look at it, you have a child, and then you have to have the child for life, take care of them. For so many years they grow up, so much headache. But they love it, family life. In Bengal they said, samsara dharma, bara dharma. Your family life is the dharma, is the life. But it's not easy. I was living in Hong Kong and China for 15 years before I came here. And they have shortage of people. Everyone's getting old. They don't want to have kids because there's a lot of responsibility. They're very expensive to raise a child. So nobody wants to have a kid. So they're paying people to have kids so they can have population. Otherwise, the country is going to be old people, and poof, pretty soon there's going to be only trees and animals. That's going to be fantastic. So they're paying people to have kids. You go to India, I remember I was going to Rishikesh to do the yoga training. So I got in a bus in Delhi. Big bus station, all the buses, bus depot. So I went there, I got a seat and everything. 6 hours drive from Delhi to Rishikesh. He goes to Haridwar, and then you have to change. And then I got in the bus, I was thinking, I'm going to do 16 rounds more because 6 hours. 10 minutes later, the bus broke down. Bus was full, so everybody had to get off. This is India. No wonder you're all in Melbourne. And then another bus came. They said, wait for another bus come, then you can get on that bus. That bus was full of people already. I stood up from Delhi to Rishikesh for Haridwar, 6 hours standing. 6 hours standing in the bus. And one lady came in. She had 5 kids. Small, medium, large, extra large, extra large. 5 different sizes. I was thinking, oh my God, how can they do it? And there was no space. They were sitting in between the people, in between. And everybody was happy. Nobody was complaining. Aram se baith jaiye. They said, sit peacefully. And people are on the phone and stuff. That will never happen here. So, people still have so many kids, even though they know they can't take care of them. But there's some kind of pleasure must be there to have a big family. But the point is, everything has its consequences. They bahut acha lag raha hai, I feel so good, everything is so good, so good. Then before you know, you have to pay, you have to work like a donkey to pay for everything. Night shift, day shift, you get a little bit of time, you chant japa, 16 rounds. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, you can't wait to finish it because you got to get a job. Your spiritual life goes down the hill. There's so much stuff. So you have to maintain spiritual life, plus grihastha life, maintain kids. Not easy. Why do you think those people went to the Himalayas, the sadhus? Because they don't want to get involved in material life. Even there in the Himalayas, the mind is somewhere else. They're thinking, so like that fish into the water. So the idea is to engage your mind in serving Krishna. Grehe thako, bone thako, sadahari bole dako. Wherever you are, in the family life, griha, bone, like it says, bone shari, bone shapi, in the forest, it doesn't matter. Sadahari bole dako. Chant the name of Krishna. Keep yourself engaged. Otherwise you'll be running after enjoyment. That never stops, running after enjoyment. I don't know, but now I haven't been to India a long, long time. I went last year to Gujarat, that's all. I haven't been to other places. You know, in India they make sugarcane juice, ganne ka ras, right? They make sugarcane juice, I love it. They put lemon, ginger, and you have a glass. So the people, when they make the sugarcane juice, they just make the juice, every drop come out of that sugarcane. Nothing left in it. So they make sure every sugarcane goes through the machine 3 times, 4 times, till they get every drop out of it. And then they throw it on the floor. And in India, you know, the cows in the street, they come by. Prabhupada gives this example. And he chews on the sugarcane, if any juice left. That's the material enjoyment that we are trying to squeeze out. Not much there. But we're trying hard for that little bit that left in there. That's the reality. You can just imagine how much pleasure is there. There's so much work for a little bit of pleasure. Isn't it? So much work. You can live in the ashram. Brahmacharini ashram is empty, just 2 ladies there. You can live in Brahmacharini ashram. You can leave Brahmachari ashram. No thanks. I like to work hard like a donkey. I like it. Free. I was talking to you yesterday. You can live in a Brahmachari ashram, such a good life. Just work a little bit, everything's paid for. You can sing and dance, such a good life. How long are you going to live here anyway? 100 years? If you can make it, 100 years? I mean, I haven't heard anybody living 100 years. People dropping off to death when they turn 80, maybe 90. And I saw a picture in the Facebook. One person is 300 years old. 300, oh my God. And he was like living in bones. Like this. Nothing left, just the bone, a little bit of skin on top. I said, I pray to Krishna, leave me die before that. 80 years is enough for me. Okay, live for 300 years, but you're going to be like this. You can't do anything. You want to be active for Krishna, kirtan, dancing, singing, cooking, harinam. You're going to be in a bed. What's the point of living that kind of life? Oh yeah, I live for 300 years. Fine, but you're living in your bones. Live whatever life, short life we have, be active for Krishna. Engage our time for Krishna. Love Krishna, work hard for Krishna. Krishna will give you energy. Radharani, she is like this. All the energy is coming. Prahlad Maharaj, a 5-year-old boy. And his father was so angry at him. Where did he get the energy? Did this wake you up or not? I can do louder. He said, my dear demoniac father, Rakshasa, I get the same energy from the same person you get your energy from Krishna. So Krishna give us energy. If we dovetail our life, our energy, mold in a way that we'll serve Krishna, Krishna will give you that energy. You know, Hare Krishna movement opened in the 60s and 70s. There's hardly any temple. And the reporter asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, how many disciples do you have? This is way back in the 60s. They only had a handful of devotees. Prabhupada says thousands of devotees and hundreds of temples. He said, we have, and practicing devotees, 10,000, and we already have 100 temples. We only have maybe a few temples. Prabhupada can see these things, the expansion of the feature of our Hare Krishna movement. My point is, those handful of devotees, they started this Hare Krishna movement because Prabhupada empowered them. Because they had intense desire to preach Krishna consciousness. They had intense desire to open temples. They have intense desire to distribute books, make devotees. Prabhupada empowered them. Those few devotees Prabhupada sent from America to London to open temple, what's his name? Samuel Sundar and a few others, Guru Das. They said, Prabhupada, we have no idea how to open a temple. We don't have money, we're not experienced. Prabhupada said, don't worry. You just go there, Krishna will help you. But if your motive is to make your grihastha life nicely, your family life, earn money, and just enjoy life, then Krishna is not going to empower you. But if you have to have a desire to open temples for Krishna, books, you pray, He will help you. Even if you are not devotee of Krishna, He gives you material things. But they didn't go there. I know many of my friends came from India. Like, I left India very long ago when I was just 19, when I came here in the 80s. I could have worked hard. That time things were cheap. Build a house, and live a very good life. Live here. Maybe a house here in India, America, wherever I want. By now I'd be filthy rich if I saved up. I didn't. I always had an idea in my mind. I saw my father working so hard. I saw my mother working so hard. I thought, I don't want to be a donkey like my father when I grow up. So when I grow up, I want to be a sadhu. This is why I joined Krishna consciousness. I work more hard in ISKCON. I was thinking maybe I shouldn't become a devotee. I work so hard in the Hare Krishna movement. Every day on the street selling things and books and doing this service. Those days we didn't have enough devotees. We have to do so much work. Sometimes devotees die from hard work. When turn 80, we die in the kitchen or temple or whatever. But nobody died like that. Krishna gives us energy. So we are meant to work hard for Krishna, not to live in this world. If you work for Krishna, Krishna will empower you. Krishna will give you more energy. Devotees are not just big fat devotees. They are skinny devotees. They hardly have time to eat. They're so busy. I always tell about this Maharaji in Hong Kong. I lived in Hong Kong for 5 years. You know, the Chinese devotees, they're not big eaters. We had one, the guy I was working for from Gujarat, he is very rich. He is a millionaire. So every year in India when the mango season, they used to ship mangoes to Hong Kong by Air India, Alfonso mango. And he'd donate 20 boxes to the temple. And all the local devotees, no, we don't need mangoes. You will get boils, and we get fat. And we in India, we love mangoes. So we are selling them back to the Indians. No. So this lady, she was very skinny. Every day she was there for Mangalarati, every day. And she didn't speak any English, but still sit in the Bhagavatam class. Prabhupada said the benefit is there of the philosophy. Even if you don't understand the spiritual potency, it still touches your heart. There's benefit. And so they have a translator for everything. But sometimes they didn't have any translator. So this lady, I never saw her eat. Never saw her eat. And she was skinny like my finger. And she used to do so much work every day. Every day she was cooking, dressing deity, doing puja. I was thinking, I never saw her eat. How did she have so much energy? And one day, she was hiding behind the door and he was eating an apple. And I saw her, like she was very shy. Oh, I'm eating. Don't look. So, if you keep yourself busy serving Krishna, Krishna will always help you to serve Him. You have to pray to Krishna to help us serve Him. He will give Shakti, materially and spiritually. Don't think, I have chant Hare Krishna, I'm going to become poor. No. Our devotee is more rich than others before they are poor. I was living with my friend in Hong Kong for 5 years. This Gujarati boy, they came from India. And he was going to school, so we became a really good friend. So I used to go to even school to pick him up because his parents were busy. So we became really close friend. So then one day we were all eating on the floor and this Gujarati guy came, big rich guy. He said, I want your son to help me in the business because he just finished his school. And then I was thinking, I'm not going to be my friend anymore because he's going to work. So he took him and I was very lonely in the temple because they're all Chinese and I couldn't speak and I need a friend. And so I used to always call him at the office. Oh, how are you? How is it going? When you come to the temple? And his parents didn't like me because I was turning him into a devotee. His parents wanted him to become a businessman. So then, and they were living really poor. They used to live in a small room, in a mansion, and like 2-3 rooms. You have to go to the toilet through the kitchen. Small in Hong Kong. They were quite poor. And so every day I was calling him. He said, so my friend said, why don't you join us? You can be with us. I said, then how I'm going to do puja and all the temple service? He said, you can do that afterward, or in the morning and evening. Daytime work for us. So then I joined the company. I didn't know how to do all the jewelry work. So I learned all the thing. So I know all about jewelry, 5 years. And sometimes I used to carry like $1 million US dollar with me. So I was thinking, there's a good chance for me to take off, go enjoy. I have all this money. $1 million, can you imagine? I saw like 100 rupee at the latest in the 80s. I was carrying $1 million with me, cash, to put in the bank. And checks, this money checks. I had one time $10 million checks. You can imagine, so much money. And I was thinking, this is all Krishna's. If Krishna didn't give you air to breathe, what are you going to do with all this money? Right? If you have a cancer, you're sick, even in the wheelchair, you can sit on the money. Right? So, the important thing is spiritual life. So, this boy, they were living very poor life. And so then I used to live in their house. I was living in their house because the food was so good, Gujarati food. And mother was such a good cook. So then every day we would come from work and his mother would send prasadam at the office. And I said, and sometimes we would go out to eat, take the customer out. So my point is, they become so rich from commission, selling. So they built a house in Gujarat. And he got married. We are both single. So he got married. So then he had to spend time with family. So I was like lonely. Then he said he come to Gujarat and for his wedding. And so I was so close to him. So then I was super tired. So they said they need some privacy because they just got married. I said, no privacy. I need to sleep where you're going to be because there's no place. So you guys can sit there and I'm going to sleep here. So I went to sleep where the honeymoon room. They have no time to privacy. So they said, we're going for honeymoon. I said, you're not going honeymoon without me. And so I said, you're going for honeymoon Vrindavan. We'll see the temple. So we went to Vrindavan. And they have no time for privacy. I said, no privacy while I'm here. We're going to Vrindavan. We're chanting Hare Krishna and Japa. I dragged them to the temple, doing everything spiritual. We went Govardhan Parikrama. They hardly had time to talk to each other because I'm always there. They liked it. So one day, his parents, time's coming, his grandfather was there with us. So they put me with that guy, old guy, to sleep. And the grandfather was sleeping, and I was sleeping, and his wife next to, I was on the side. And this guy was snoring like anything. I couldn't sleep. Really loud. So I was turning, I couldn't sleep. I put my hands in my ear to block my ear, and so many things. So I pushed him. And he rolled over, and he stopped for a second, like that. And his wife said, dekho, ye mera thappar mara hai. He is hitting my husband. I was just pushing him. So then I got tired. So I went down to the labor. All the laborers sleep. So I went to sleep with all the laborers. There was 100 laborers sleeping there in a big hall. I took a blanket. I thought, I'm going to sleep here. And then 2 minutes later, I hear snoring coming from all directions. Oh my God. So it was a nightmare. So I went to the room where my friend was sleeping with his new wife. So I knocked on the door, and then I came and said, I have to sleep here, sorry, because there's nowhere to sleep. I explained to him the situation. So I was in there, and so this is their honeymoon. I was always checking on them. So I was his best friend. We were sitting down. People give you money when you're getting married. So they have this thing, like a mandapa. So I was sitting next to, on the floor, and him and his wife, people giving money. So I had this much money, like big bag, all envelope. I said, this money we're going to use to pay for our food and hotel and everything for Vrindavan. So the Brajvasis can have, not for your enjoyment, okay? So I kept all the money. So we were on the train, we pulled out all the envelope and we were paying for everything, Prashad and Ashram and Vrindavan. All that money people gave, it went for spiritual work, not for sense enjoyment. So we made sure that it's all for spiritual life. They're really rich now. So he built a house in Kambat, one place in Gujarat, 5-story building with swimming pool, and he only has his wife and son and him, and they live in Hong Kong. What do you do with the house there? You know who's living in the house? Banara, monkeys. They're living there. So we are not the enjoyer. Krishna is the enjoyer. And they're very rich. They said because I stayed with them, I helped them, so they fed the Vaishnava every day. I said, every chapati you give me, you'll get $10 for it. Just a joke. So when I used to come down from China to Hong Kong, I said, you have to give me at least 100 chapatis, thin as a paper. Gujarati is so I used to take there to China and eat over days, because there's no food for me. I was living there. And I'd bring vegetables, things are cheap. So my point is, enjoyment is very limited. Suffering is this much, enjoyment is this much. How many ways can you hurt yourself? I can cut your throat, you'll be dead. Or I can pull your hair, you're going to hurt. Pull your ear, slap you, put salt on the cut, right? Fire under your back. So many ways I can hurt you. But how many ways can you enjoy? Thoda thoda. Just when you eat, you enjoy. But if you eat too much, you feel sick. Enjoyment, everything is about the body is limited enjoyment. So here, we are running after sense enjoyment, but the sense enjoyment is limited. That's the point. Even if you go upstairs, they have halwa, puri, salad, pakora, khichdi. This is Melbourne breakfast. It's not very austere. But I said, I just have a little bit of khichdi. You get tired of eating all these things because we're not the enjoyer. Krishna in the morning, when you wake Krishna up in the morning, you know what he eats? What does Krishna eat? How many types of sweets? 5 types. What are the sweets? Sandesh, rasamalai, kheer, barfi, and rabri. What do we have when we wake up in the morning? Garam jal, hot water to clean our stomach. We are not the enjoyer. Krishna eats that every day. If I ate that, I'd be dead long ago. First thing you wake up, we have rabri, my God, and rasagolla, all sweets. Krishna wants to demonstrate that he is the enjoyer. We're not the enjoyer. So, you have to keep yourself occupied in serving Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna. If you give your time for yourself to just loose, your mind will drag you like this to sense enjoyment. Before you know it, you're way out there in the material world. Hare Krishna, bye-bye. So be careful. You think you're the enjoyer, Krishna is watching you. He's in our heart, wherever you go. So we're never alone. So I feel lonely. No, Krishna is in our heart. He's always there. Of course, we need sadhu sangha, but it depends on our motive, what we really want underneath, what we want to achieve in our life. In Krishna, what you want. It doesn't say you can't get married, men can't get married, women can't get married. These things are there, ashrams there. And they're like, I grew up as brahmachari, like super strict in Mayapur. So before I came here, I was thinking, wow, Australia, this is like the place of Maya, Australia. So I came as brahmachari, and our temple in Sydney, I remember when I first came, everybody same age as me, like 50% men and women. and they want to be brahmachari. So it's not easy. If you want to be brahmachari, you can. If you want to be good, like a chaste person, you can. You just have to be strict with yourself. Not easy, but you have to occupy yourself with chanting Hare Krishna, go on Hare Nam, distribute books. Keep yourself busy. You know Queen Kunti, from Mahabharata, Queen Kunti, she was very beautiful because she had a blessing from Durvasa Muni that she will never get old. So when Kunti Devi was so many years old, like reaching 100, for those that people live for a long time, she still looked really beautiful. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was asked by Yamaraj, do you get attracted to your mother? It says here, people, even you're attracted to your sister, your whatever. So he said, yeah, I do. He was very honest. So then he said, so what do you do about it? He said, nothing. Just sleep a couch. So it's not that I am pure devotee, I'm free from it. No, we are attracted to it. We have lust, we have the material, we have these bad qualities, but still we don't have time for it. We have to keep busy. We have to learn from Yudhishthira Maharaj. And Yudhishthira Maharaj is pure devotee of Krishna. So that's the point. It's not that, oh, Hare Krishna, I'm so pure, you tell everybody. No. We have to be very strong, be above, like the lotus living in the water, but not touched by it. Krishna says, water, the water on the lotus leaf, it slides off because that's the quality of the lotus leaf. Similarly, Krishna says, we have to be in the material world, but at the same time, Krishna conscious, not attracted. We are aloof from it. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any questions? I know you do. Give over the microphone.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. Prabhu, you mentioned how in this material world it's full of sufferings. And we've heard in lectures that whatever we see in this material world is created by Lord Krishna. He is the source of it. So does that mean Krishna has created all these sufferings? And if so, we know that He loves us so much, so why did He create so many sufferings?
Good question. Yeah. This is material world, it's not Vaikuntha. So there has to be balance. So everything is really good here. In Melbourne, nobody talks about going back to Godhead because everything is so good here. We want to stay here forever. Good Vishara, nice life. Oh, I love it here. Right? So the idea, Krishna created a material world, there is suffering. In this planet we're living here, we are special because here we are given enough notice that we're getting old. So why Krishna created? Because we wanted it. We wanted to get here, we wanted to come here. Krishna says, I created because we wanted. So we wanted to separate from Krishna. And just like, when he turned maybe 20, 30, whatever, and so I don't want to be with my parents anymore. I want my own life, right? Give me a break. You start arguing with your parents, then you get your own family, then you have a problem. We choose that life. Your parents say, no, don't. Like my mother used to always cry whenever I went to Mayapur. So, don't go, just stay with me, I have a room here, you can live whole life here. I said, that's you, my life is different. I want to travel. So, you get into trouble, but we chose that. Nobody wants to go to the prison. But they have a prison here. Hey, you're living in Melbourne, so nice. Most livable city in the world. Yeah, it's Melbourne. Come and live in Melbourne. Come and live in Tasmania. And they always advertising, come in Auckland. But they also have a prison. Why do they have a prison? Because there are some people, they're not happy with all the happiness. They like to be in the prison. So the material world is a prison. correction. So the spiritual world is there, material world is created. So at the same time, Krishna is very kind. He comes down here to bring us back. Prabhupada said, our Hare Krishna movement, everything is so good, we're giving you all the best things. He said, where is the difficulty? Prabhupada said, where is the difficulty? No difficulty. We make problems, there's no problems. Isn't it? So, Krishna didn't want, we don't blame Krishna for our suffering. We wanted it to come down here. You know when you take a body of a dog, kutta, in Bengali it's a kukur. You know how they make a noise? Gao, 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 gao. It's terrible. Especially if you're trying to sleep. So they say before you take a body of a dog, they make you bark. Gao, 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 different type, gao, whatever. And then when you're good at it, you enter the dog body in the down there. So we do have a choice. The choice, we can serve Krishna or we can be in the material world. So we come down in the material world, birth, death, old age, disease, welcome. Like when you come to Australia, they write, welcome to Australia. And they ask you, why you come here? What do you want? Like a bark like a dog. So this is material world. We didn't want to come here, but we came here because of our choice. Just like the prison. You can live free life, or you can end up in prison. That all part belongs to the same country. So everything belongs to God, but we want to, do our own thing, and we break the law, then end up in the prison. Okay?
Thank you.
Anybody else? There's no prasadam today. It's a half-day fast. Yeah?
In the path of Krishna consciousness, if we deviate, like if our mind deviates, what is the best thing we can do?
For the mind?
Yeah.
The mind is, Krishna says, Chanchalahi mana Krishna pramati balavadhira. It's flickering, always, he's trying to hold something slippery, very hard. The mind is very difficult to control. Abhyasa yoga yuktena, Krishna says, through practice and detachment. We attached, then we become involved, we become entangled, attachment. So we have to be detached and practice. It takes practice. Even Arjuna, he said, it's very difficult, but you have to practice every day chanting, hearing the holy name. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they came from a very wealthy family. They gave up all that because they want to be with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They want to chant Hare Krishna. Raghunath Das Goswami, his wife was so beautiful that even no match to the Apsaras and heavenly planets. They had to tie him down because he was running off to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he ran off midnight. So we have to be detached from the material world, attached to Krishna. That comes namaruchi, taste for the holy name. Regular chanting. Srinvatam sakata Krishna, regular hearing the holy name. It doesn't come easy. We have to practice. We have to be detached from material name, fame, adoration. These are all subtle enjoyment, sex desires. So to be very strong with ourselves. Do we really want to serve Krishna? Or just coming around? 10 years, 15 years, just, oh, your food tastes good. What time's your food? I like it here because your food tastes good. The holy name tastes good too. So there are big fish and the small fish. The small fish, they're on the surface. And then the eagles get them. Big fish, they're underneath, they can't get them. So we have to be like the big fish, deep in the love of God, in holy name. Allow your mind to go, the mind will. You go some places in the city, I love it here. You're allowing yourself to just roam around. Mind's going to take over. You're allowing. You can instead come to temple, chant Hare Krishna, serve the devotees, cook something, do service. So there's every chance that we can curve our senses and our mind if we want to. Or you can go there, up to you. So Krishna gives us a choice. You can read up to your neck that you can't breathe, prasadam, or you can eat just a little bit so you can be relaxed. So the choice is yours. You can chant Hare Krishna, give yourself, or you can just do whatever, floating around here. Prabhupada said our Hare Krishna temple is not for lazy people. It's not a free hotel. You have to work hard. This temple's here because somebody put it. They put the money and they work for it. It wasn't just poof. So everything we do in life, we have to work at it. So if you want to control the mind, you have to work at it. Sense control. Indriya Daman. Indriya Daman, it's not easy. Brahmachari life, ashram life, keep yourself busy chanting. So many things are there if we want. Isn't it? Okay? To stop here, otherwise it's getting late. Thank you. Hare Krishna.